Hi friends, it's Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and we just hatched a new batch of chicks and ducklings over the weekend. This is our third batch of chicks this year, our first batch of ducklings, and we've been using a child's Pack N Play as a brooder for them in the garage. We recently moved our last batch of chicks out, and now we need to get it all cleaned out to put the new batch in. We've been using a child's Pack N Play as a brooder for the last 4 years to grow out our babies in our garage, and it works so well. So I think you'll see why as we get it set up today. So come along with us and I'll show you the process. Most Pack N Plays come with wheels like this, so they're really convenient to roll around and move. It's a nice portable option for a brooder versus a stationary one that you build that just has to stay in your barn or your garage somewhere. So the boys are rolling this out. We've got to clean out the shavings from the last batch and get it all fresh for the new. Boys are scrubbing out the feeder in the water, getting it nice and fresh for the new babies. To set up our Pack N Play, we remove the pad that comes on the bottom of the Pack N Play for babies. We remove that and we line it with cardboard, and then we fill it with wood shavings, and then you need a nice flat spot to place your water so that it doesn't spill. So we have a nice flat rock that we stick right in the middle, and that's what we put our water on top of. David's putting a little homemade apple cider vinegar in the water for our chicks. That keeps them nice and healthy. Gabriel's gonna screw the water lid on. And then we'll get that set in there for the babies. So in the past, if we didn't set a rock or something flat on the bottom here, as the chicks move around, they will spill this water in no time at all. But the rock here helps keep it nice and steady and flat, and also it gives a little bit of space from the wood chips and keeps them from completely messing up the water with the wood chips. But we're gonna just do this to show you, but we don't need this yet with little baby chicks. But you can buy, this is mosquito netting. It's meant to protect a baby if you put them in a Pack N Play outside to keep mosquitoes from getting at them. But it works really perfectly as the chicks get older. It keeps them from flying out. I generally don't need to put this netting over the top until they're closer to maybe 4 or 5 weeks old, but when the weather's nice, they're usually moved out of this brooder and they're outside before that point anyways. It's usually only for the first batch of early spring chicks. Actually, sitting here taking a break with my little baby duckling. It's so sleepy from all the work it did hatching this morning. This is our very makeshift temporary indoor chick nursery. All we do is we grab a tub that will fit the amount of chicks we are hatching, and then I put a screen over the top to keep our cat out, and we use a little heat lamp kind of rigged up there. But we only really like to have them in here for the first 24 hours or so. They don't need food in that time, but once they start eating, they make a big mess, don't they, David? Yeah. So we want to move them out as soon as they need food, and that is what we're doing right now. So why don't you boys go ahead and grab them, and we'll get them in their new, fresh, clean home that we just set up in the garage. We've got our babies, and what Gabe is going to do is each one that he sets into the brooder, he dips their beak into the water so that they know where their water source is. And then they're ready in their new home. That's Homestead. And then David, why don't you go ahead and get that heat lamp plugged in over there.
Yeah.
They have their heat now. They'll stay nice and warm. Probably happy having a little more space here than that little tub.
Oh, God bless you, Caddy Jones. Hey, this one has fur on its legs.
Yeah. Oh, that one might be a Brahma. Oh, good. We got a little furry baby.
I didn't know. Let's see if any more Brahmas. Nope.
Boys are trying to show them where their food is in case some of the older ones are hungry.
They're not liking this.
Your food and stuff.
Come on, Cookie. Is this Cookie Man? Yeah, it's on the North Shore spec. Yeah, it's Cookie Man. Yeah. Pascal's a very docile chicken.
Look there, that one right next to the duck, the one with the black mark on her head, that's Yoki.
Yoki. I like Yoki. Wait, is Yoki a brother? He's lighter than all the others.
No, I can see size.
Now, let's see if we can find the Brahma again. Here, let's see if we can spy. If we can like it.
Okay, it looks like the boys did a really good job getting the babies set up in here. This works really well for us because at the end of the season, all we have to do is bleach it out really well, and Pack and Plays by nature fold up, and they can be stored away, and it doesn't take up any permanent space in our barns or our garage. Space is definitely an issue around here, so we enjoy this option. If we're doing large amounts of meat birds, in the past what we've done is put multiple Pack and Plays next to one another in here, and that works really well for us. Ducks can make quite a mess in the Pack and Play. They like to splash around in their water, and that can end up spilling on the floor. So if you're raising primarily ducks, this isn't the best option for you. But for chickens, it works great, and this is what we'll probably always choose to use. What are you guys doing?
Keep it in my shirt because it likes cuddling. It's pecking at my shirt.
So we've had a lot of fun getting the babies outside today. I think they're going to enjoy their space. They'll be here for the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks. If you're looking for a Pack and Play, check garage sales and Craigslist and all sorts of places like that have them for cheap or free, and that works as a great option. I've had questions before about whether or not the chicks destroy the mesh here if they peck at it, and they don't. We've never had them create a hole, and like I said, we've been doing this for 4 years. We've been using the same Pack and Plays for 4 years and never had an issue with that. So that is that. We're going to get inside and have lunch.
Not me, I'm going to stay with the chicks.
You're going to stay with the chicks? I'm going to have to peel these boys away from the chicks. They're having a lot of fun, but I'm going to go in and prepare lunch. I hope you enjoyed getting a peek into our newest babies here on the homestead. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and we look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Have a blessed day, friends.